Hey there, welcome back to Tony's Auto Works and Off-Road. We're going to be installing the JCR roof rack for the 2000 Jeep Cherokee I have here. It's a modular roof rack, which means that you can remove the crossbars from the rack if you want to add whatever accessories you want. It makes it really easy to add a rooftop tent or remove a rooftop tent. And that's why I chose this rack, because it's going to do everything I need to and it's low profile. So, better gas mileage. So, I'm going to show you the tools that you'll need to put this rack together and put it on the Jeep rooftop tent. Please do have a secondary person with you, because it is definitely a two-person job. Putting the rack on, you can probably get done by yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. Now you're going to see here, I've got all the stuff for the kit sitting on my Stinger bumper here. So this kit right here is going to be the heaviest part of your package. It's the crossbars, and as you can see there, they got holes in them. That's where you'll mount some T-nuts for accessories. And then you'll also get, you'll get two different spare packages. One will have the crossbars and I believe the front and rear fascias or fairings. And then of course you'll get a package with the side rails. Along with that, you'll get a box with this it's like a weather stripping almost. You use this on your fairings so that you don't scratch up the paint on your roof if you care about that. Some people do, some people don't. But either way, you get enough to put weather stripping on the front and rear fairings, because there's two of them. And then, of course, you get some stickers. Now, this is a small package here of hardware. This is what you're going to use for your gutter mounts. And these are 5/16 bolts. And you get some washers as well. And then in the box, you will get these gutter mounts here. Everything you need. Also, in the package, you get a bigger hardware kit that comes with the bolts, the nuts, and some end caps. That bag will be much larger than this one here. Now, let's get to the tools. Now, as I was explaining in the larger hardware package, here's these end caps I was talking about. You get some 1/4 inch button head bolts. You get basically a large, medium, and a small. So the big one is going to be a 5mm, and you can use a one of the T-bar handle Allen wrenches, or you can use a Allen socket, or you can just use an Allen wrench. It's totally up to you. Obviously the Allen socket is going to be the fastest way. These, the smaller ones, both of these will be 4mm. And then of course you have the nuts, and you got two different sizes of washers, obviously one for the bigger bolts and one for the smaller bolts. And then here's these little T-nuts that you slide in those holes I was telling you about earlier on the crossbars. And of course, for that nut, you can use a ratchet, the adapter if you want to, with an extension, and 11mm. Now, as long as you have your stock rack off with the stock rails off, you can go ahead and start putting together your new rack. However, as you can see, I still have my stock rails on here. The previous owner left them on there without the crossbars, so whatever that means. Either way, we gotta get those off. And these are also an Allen head. No, they're Starbit, a hex. So we will go ahead and take these side rails off, and then we'll start building our new rack. Now, here's both your side rails. Now, the easiest way to do this is to prop one up and take one of your crossbars, and you can bolt it into the side here, and then once you do that, you'll be able to stand up. Then you can do the other side as well, bolt them together so that your side rails will staying up, so that you can do the rest of the crossbars. Now don't tighten down any of your crossbars real tight just yet, because you want to be able to adjust them however you would like them, and for, you know, the accessories. So let's go and do that. Now keep in mind, you want to have these oval holes facing upwards. Doesn't matter whether they're on the passenger side or the driver's side, just make sure that they're up. And you'll see these slots here. That's where the bolts are going to go through for the crossbars. Now go ahead and do that with the rest of your crossbars, get them all mounted up. Once you get all your crossbars mounted, then we'll go from there. Then we can deal with the fairings. Now you'll see that I went ahead and got the weather stripping on the front fairing, and you start it from one corner right here, and you stop it at this corner here. Then you need to cut this piece off. And make sure everything is on there nice and tight. You'll use this piece on your back fairing. So grab your rear piece of fairing here, your rear fairing, and you'll take the extra little piece of weather stripping you had, and you put it right in the dead center. Try to get it as centered as you can. Might not be perfect. And this stuff is pretty tight. Might take you a couple seconds to get on there, but this stuff is important. Make sure it's on there real good. So, there you go. It's on there now. Now, you'll grab a couple of them same bolts that you were using for the crossbars, and you're gonna also grab the small washer and the nuts. And this will hold your fairing on. Again, this is an 11mm. And these metal pieces that bend in are going to go on the inside. Get your top two on, or at least you can get all four in, and then you want to make sure that you're not super tight, because you will want to push this fairing up Now the reason that you want to push this up, you want to have it up as far as you can get it, is so that it's not going to affect the front part of the paint on your roof. And obviously this weather stripping is going to keep you from having too much noise going down the interstate. Process is going to be the same on the back fairing. Now you're going to get these brackets here. These mount to your gutters. You want to make sure that this extruded part here is facing outwards, and this curve goes outwards. And it's going to mount to these holes on the inside of the rack with the same bolts that you were using for everything else. Leave the nuts kind of loose, and you'll do 6 of these all around the rack. Leave them a little bit loose because we gotta position it correctly once we get on top of the Jeep. I I highly recommend when putting the rack on top of the Jeep that you have someone help you. I unfortunately do not have someone to do that. So, you're gonna watch me struggle to put this on there myself. So, it's up there. However, look at that nasty overhang. So, we got to go back probably 2-3 inches. But that is where you want the gutter mount to sit. Now that's a little better. Now JCR recommends that you put the back of the rack right there. That gives the door enough room to flop up and all that good stuff. The next step is you're gonna grab these little brackets here, and they mount just like that. And you grab the big button head bolts that you have, and you'll get them in there just like that. And then you'll tighten them down. And then you'll want to tighten these down after you get it right where you want it. For fuck's sake. Now, when you're doing the gutter mounts, you get multiple 5/16 in both of your hardware packages. In your main package, it's going to be, you're going to have a variety of bolts that you probably won't even use. Make sure that you do use the XJ specific 5/16 bolts for the gutter mounts. Don't mess up like I did. Now that bolt's rounded off. Alright, now that you got your rack secured to the gutter mounts, here are these little T-nuts for accessories or whatever you want to mount in those slide holes in the crossbars. And you get tiny little black button head bolts that will go right into these. Now I'm going to show you where these little T-nuts are going to slide into. Alright, so make sure you got that bolt in there, and you'll just slide it in like that. And then I would tighten them down so they're not rattling all over the place while you're driving. Now, once you've done everything else, go ahead and pick where you want your crossbars to be. Then you can go ahead and tighten them down. And that's it. Unless you have to put on a rooftop tent or accessories or whatever else you want to put on there. Rotopax cans. I've got one I'm going to put on there. Although I believe JCR actually has a mount that goes over the back window that actually is specifically designed for Rotopax cans. So I'm probably going to go for that next. Well, that was my installation of the JCR Offroad XJ Roof Rack. Looks good. Can't wait to get my tent on there and go camping. Any other questions you have, please put them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Check out my other videos. I've got event videos and all sorts of goodies. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.